Hello. It's good to see you. Today we are going to be making a wreath, and we're going to use this right here. This is a little like a balsa wood type wall decoration that I bought yesterday at Joann Fabrics and Crafts. And I thought it would be really cute to take this and put it in the middle of a wreath. But I'll put it in there in such a way that if you wanted to, you could, like leave this on there. I will just sort of tentatively attach it in there so it can be taken out and hung up if somebody wanted to do that. But we painted this in a video yesterday, and it kind of posted late last night because it took a little bit to run the checks for it. But I thought this was so cute. Look at that. So this wreath is going to have sort of, I wanted it to have just sort of, not really neutral colors, but just like nice, subdued, natural colors. And I got the idea when I was walking around in Joann Fabrics and Crafts yesterday, and I saw that they had some mesh on clearance. It's right here. I think this was part of it. They had several different types of mesh and ribbon on clearance. And I thought, wouldn't that be pretty in a wreath? Look at these colors. Oh yeah, I think this was part of the Easter collection, or maybe spring collection or something. Anyway, these were 70% off. 70%. I mean, they were only $6.99 to start with. I got them way cheaper. So I got these two here. They have sort of a plaid design, I guess. Little squares. So we have this really pretty green and sort of an off-white, and then this light beige and off-white. So I got those there. This one, where did this one? This was actually left over from Christmas. This was one I think I bought after Christmas on clearance. It is a really dark green, and it's their Place and Time collection. It has little candy canes on it, so I'm guessing it was from Christmas. So I bought several rolls of this mesh, and I had them in my stash up in the attic with all of my wreath making stuff, and I thought this would be really pretty to go with it. It's like a forest green, but it's perfect for a little camping wreath, I thought. Now, I have done a camping themed wreath before. I did one, I don't remember how long ago it was, like a year ago or something. We're doing another one because I felt like it. And then I have this here. I bought this yesterday too. This is part of just their regular mesh inventory. This one was not on clearance, but again, they're only $6.99 for these rolls of mesh, and it's just like a burlap looking mesh. I love this combination of colors. Look at this. Look at these. It's so great. So these four. I think they're going to look really good. And then I picked up some ribbon. Now, I don't know that I'm going to use... Oh, and one more. I forgot this one. And I also have some burgundy. Yeah, I have this burgundy too. It was sitting over there. I didn't see it. So we have 5 colors of mesh for this wreath. This is some also from Joann that I bought in the past. I think I bought it at the same time I bought this. So it's just a nice burgundy color. So we have 5 colors of mesh. And the green and the burgundy, I think at least 3 rolls of each. So I have more if I need it. And then I went through my ribbon. Some of this I bought yesterday. This is their Down to Earth collection. And part of that mesh is too. It's just a really pretty dark green. Looks really nice with that mesh right there. So I got this dark green ribbon, and here we have, this was also 70% off, this really pretty wired ribbon, and it has leaves all over it. The wire edge is not necessary, but if you find a ribbon that you really want to use, if it does have a wire edge, that's fine. For this kind of wreath, though, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to have a wire edge to it. This is hard to read. 2.5 inches wide. This one was also on clearance. Look at this. It's sort of a very subdued yellow. I thought I had some mesh that color, but I don't. But yeah, really nice subdued yellow. I'm kind of thinking I might have some mesh in the attic that is this color. Maybe I won't worry about it. But I do. Somewhere I have some mesh that color. But it's made like this, and it came from Joann, and so instead of being beige, it has that kind of like that sunflower or cornflower yellow color. It's not like a bright yellow. It's kind of subdued. This ribbon I found in the attic in my stash. This is from Dollar Tree, and some I bought in the past. I don't know that I want to use it, but what I like to do when I'm getting ready to make a wreath, I will just pull out. Yeah, I have 2 big totes of stuff in the attic. I have ribbon and mesh and all kinds of stuff. I will just pull stuff out, and so I have it, and if I decide not to use it, I just put it back. And I found this on clearance yesterday. It's kind of a khaki or a taupe colored ribbon. It's kind of thin, but it was 70% off, and this one was too. Now this one has like a plaid design to it, and that, I guess it's more of a mustard yellow, the mustard yellow color to it. And one more ribbon. Now this one was not on clearance, but I wanted just a little bit of navy blue in the wreath. And I looked, I thought I had some navy blue mesh, but I didn't. I had a royal blue, but I wasn't really looking for a royal blue. I wanted a darker blue. I couldn't find any, but I did buy this ribbon at Joann yesterday. I've always said Joann's, but when I say that, people correct me. I always thought there was an S on the end of it, but there's not. It's one of those Mandela effect things, because I swear there used to be an S on the end of it. I've always just called it Joann's. This was just part of their regular inventory. And I liked the fact that it kind of has like these little leaves, these little ferny leaves on here. So it still kind of has that nature theme to it, and it's the dark blue that I wanted. I just wanted to make sure to put a little bit of dark blue in here. I don't know why, I just feel like it needs just a little, not a lot, just a little bit of dark blue. And so for the decorations, of course, we have this here. We have this. I had so much fun painting this. Look at that. It's very cute. And for I have these for decorations as well. I picked up some artificial flowers at Joann yesterday. I got these that have this pretty orange in them, and they have this little bit of greenery in the back. So these, I will probably leave these put together like they are and just stick them down in there and hot glue them into the wreath. Normally I cut these apart and put them in a little sprig at a time. I think I'm actually going to leave them just like they are and just stick them down in there and glue them. And then I have this one that's just greenery. You have these leaves here and whatever the heck these are. They look like clover blossoms, but green. They don't have that pinkish color, but they make me think of clover blossoms. And these leaves back here actually kind of match the leaves on the ribbon. These back here. I just noticed that. And then I picked up this. I only got one of these. I ended up with one of these, and 2 of these. I didn't want a ton of flowers in there. I didn't want it to be just overloaded with flowers and stuff. But I wanted at least one flower that had some blue in it. And they had this little pick here. These were $3.99 each, but they were 40% off. So I'm going to stick that in there somewhere. So, oh, and for my pipe cleaners, I have a huge collection of pipe cleaners, or chenille stems, or fuzzy sticks, whatever you want to call them. I found this bag up there in my collection. Now these don't get used too much. These are part of a collection. I got these at Walmart, and they're called natural colors, and it's perfect for this wreath. We have some green, brown, red, kind of a gray, dark brown, dark green. So I'm thinking about using a combination of the dark green and this brown right here. Using about half and half, like half dark green, half brown. And for a wreath like this, you're going to need, and I'm going to show you how to make the bundles, but you're going to need about at least 50 bundles. And for each bundle, you're going to take one of these sticks here, one of these. Ooh, I got them all. Look at that. You're going to take one stick and cut it in half to hold together your bundles. So you're going to need, for 50 bundles, you'd need 25 of these. And really, you can use any color. If you have a bunch of pipe cleaners in some other color, it doesn't really matter, because when the wreath is finished, when you're looking at it, you're not going to see these anyway. But I mean, if you look at the back side of the wreath, you'll see them. And it's just me. I don't know. I like the colors of the fuzzy sticks to match the colors of the wreath. And they're cheap to buy, and I buy them in bulk, and I just get all these different colors. So I just kind of like them to match, but it ultimately doesn't matter. You don't have to go out and buy a bunch of pipe cleaners if you already have some, because you can just use whatever you have. It's just me. I just like them to match, but it doesn't matter. So those are my pipe cleaners. And I was thinking about it. Normally I like to do the starburst technique. Put it down. Normally I like to do the starburst technique for my wreaths, but we haven't done the roll technique in a while. And I think it would actually be kind of cute for this wreath. So we're going to do the roll technique. And if you have any practice rolling anything, you will find this to be like second nature to you. You could do this no problem. And I'm going to show you how to roll your mesh and add in the ribbon and get it all together with the pipe cleaner. Now, we're not adding the decorative stuff at this point. That will be the last thing we do. The first thing we have to do is create all of our bundles, and then we will attach them to a wreath form. Now, this is a 14-inch wreath form here. This one I actually bought at Goodwill. They had some of these in their new merchandise. It was $1.99. I bought it because the last time I went to Dollar Tree to try to get some of these, and the ones at Dollar Tree look just like this, I don't know, there was something wrong with them. Like they felt very flimsy, and these parts were sticking out, and there was a lot of metal sticking out, and it would poke you, and they just didn't feel like they would hold up too well, so I didn't buy any. I'll check back again later. But this is exactly the same as the ones that I get at Dollar Tree. But I did have to pay $1.99 for it. But whatever, it doesn't matter. So we're going to be using this to make our wreath. Now this is 14 inches. When we finish the wreath, though, it's going to be bigger than 14 inches. It's going to come out this far. And right in the middle, I'm going to gently wedge this in the center of the wreath. But I'm not going to fasten it down permanently. That way, if somebody wanted to take it out and use it somewhere else, they could, and the wreath would still look fine. So I am really interested to see how this turns out. I really like the colors. I'm looking at the colors, and they're very relaxing to me. Something about these colors just it just soothes my soul for some reason. I don't know. I just like it. So let's go ahead and get started on the bundles. Okay, I have everything ready here to start making our bundles. I have to remind myself that we're doing rolls and not the sunburst technique, because we've done so many with the sunburst technique. This pipe cleaners kind of match my shirt. I wore this shirt on purpose. I thought it's a very soft flannel, and I thought the colors would be nice to go with what we're doing today. I love this shirt. It is so incredibly soft. Okay, So what I ended up doing was I counted the number of pipe cleaners that I had that were this color, like this shade of brown and this green. And I don't know that I'll have enough, so I'm also going to incorporate some of these dark brown ones in here. I have a very excited bird right outside of my window that you may hear from time to time. We're making a camping theme wreath. It's perfect. Okay, so I've cut these in half. I just took one of each, cut them in half, and I'm going to show you how to make these little bundles. But first, I want to show you the ribbon. So when we do a sunburst technique, I try to cut the lengths of mesh and the ribbon to about 9 inches, approximately 9 inches. It doesn't have to be exact. For the roll technique, though, I find that the bundles are a little bit more compact. They don't stick out as far, so I don't measure these. I kind of eyeball them. You can make them more like 7 or 8 inches. They don't have to be quite as long because the bundles themselves are going to be a little smaller. These I cut even shorter. I didn't mean to, it just kind of happened that way. And what I did with these was I dovetailed the edges of these pieces of ribbon. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Look at this ribbon. This is so pretty. I love this dark green with a little bit of like white over here. It's so pretty. So you see that I've cut them all like this. It makes it look better than just cutting it straight across. It makes it look a little bit fancier. I'm going to show you how to do it. I have some pieces of ribbon here. And this is how they look just cutting them off the roll. They're going to look like that. It's a very simple technique. It does take a little bit of time to do every piece, but I think it's worth it. So you use the same technique no matter what size ribbon you have. Now I will say though, in this wreath we have 2 little skinny ribbons like this. Now you could dovetail these, but it would be hard. I just kind of cut them, you see, at an angle like that. I just cut them at an angle. So I didn't bother trying to dovetail these little skinny pieces. But for these, even if they have a wire in it, it doesn't matter. You can do it no matter whether it has wire or not. You use the same technique for each piece. You're going to take your piece of ribbon, you fold it in half lengthwise. You don't have to crease it or anything like that. You just want to bring these 2 edges together like that. So here you have the fold. And then you just take whatever scissors you want to use. Doesn't matter. So here's the fold. We're just going to cut that corner off. You end up with a lot of little pieces. I keep a little trash can nearby to put, because you're going to end up with a lot of just stuff you want to get rid of. And look at that. You open it up. There you go. You can make that V deeper or more narrow depending on the angle that you cut. After you do it a little bit, you'll get a feel for how you want it to look. There's no right or wrong way, just whatever you like. So again, you fold it in half lengthwise. Cut that corner. Just like that. Boom. Done. Look how pretty that is. This is our navy blue ribbon. Again, you fold it in half lengthwise. This ribbon was kind of ornery. The wire makes it kind of hard to work with. Cut the corner. There you go. Look at that. And just make sure to do both ends because both ends will be visible in the wreath when it's finished. There. Put it over there with my other. So you could take this pretty green one. This one makes me think of Lord of the Rings for some reason. Like Gondor or something, I don't know. Wasn't their flag green? I believe it was. There, just like that. Okay, and again you just fold it. Cut that corner. And see, you get all these little bits. See, that's why, like if you had this little skinny ribbon, and I've tried it, like you try to fold it, you can. You just fold it and cut it. But some ribbons are kind of hard to do that with. I just cut them at an angle. I think it's okay. Look at this pretty ribbon. This is the yellow ribbon with a little bit of white in the middle. So again, just fold it in half lengthwise. Cut that corner. Just like that. And these little pieces go everywhere. So you just fold it and cut. You just hold it and cut. Just like that. This ribbon, when you cut it, you get little tiny pieces everywhere. Usually when I cut them, I'll hold them over the trash can so all the bits just go right into the trash can and you don't end up with little tiny pieces everywhere. Okay, now I'm going to show you how we make these bundles using the roll technique, which is going to be a little different from what we've been doing lately. So you have your pipe cleaners cut in half. It doesn't have to be exact. Alright, now I've cut my mesh into lengths, again, approximately 7 to 9 inches long. But again, it does not have to be exact. That's one thing I love about making these wreaths is you do not need lots of precision. You just kind of do it. Now you see with the piece of mesh that it kind of has a grain, like a direction it wants to go in. We're going to work with that. Now when we do the starburst technique, we take them and do them like that. We will not be doing that here. I think we could probably use, I'm going to say 4 pieces of mesh in each bundle. We'll see how it does. I may only be able to do 3. You're going to take your mesh like this, and we're just going to kind of roll it up. It doesn't have to be super tight. Okay, now we got it. You want to hold it. Now you can use a chip clip, clothespin, whatever you want to use to hold this. I just put it between my fingers like this, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. You kind of get used to doing it. When this is in the bundle, it's going to be kind of like that. It's going to be folded in half, sort of. So as you will see, the bundles are not going to be, they won't stick out as far as they do with the sunburst technique. Take a piece of that burgundy mesh, and we're going to hold on to this. And again, just kind of roll it in the direction it wants to go. Oops. Hold on to it. Lay it over top of the first one. And you have to hang on, because if you let go, it's going to spring back the way it was. Spring, that's my word. And you'll get little bits everywhere. Just don't worry about it. You'll be cleaning up constantly. Just wait till you're done. Okay, so we have another piece. I'm going to just kind of roll it. Don't take the cloth with it. So that's 3. We'll see what 4 looks like. Here's a piece of that dark green. I'll roll it again. Okay, put that there. Well, that's going to be a thick bundle. That's a thick one right there. Okay. Now, let's place some ribbon over that. See how far the ribbon sticks out? So you really don't need pieces of ribbon that are as long. And you can leave the ribbon out completely if you don't want to use it. I've been using less ribbon in my last few wreaths. I don't know, I went really heavy with it for a while, and lately I just felt like using less. Then you take one of your little pipe cleaner halves. Now this is a tricky part, but the more you do it, again, the easier it gets. It's harder for me to explain than it is to actually do it. So you're holding everything together. take your pipe cleaner, put it across, perpendicular like that, hold it, flip it over. This is the underside. Fold your pipe cleaner down. And you're going to twist it together at least 3 times. And then you can let it go. Now you can take your mesh and kind of separate it if you want to kind of splay it out a little bit. You can do that. Okay. Now this is a thick bundle right here. It really is. Okay. So we're not going to have as much of the pipe cleaner halves sticking out as we do with the starburst technique. You could do 3 pieces of mesh. I think I'm going to continue with the 4 though. And I will show you after we make a few more how you attach that to the wreath form. You don't need any hot glue or anything like that to attach these bundles. You're going to be using the ends of the pipe cleaners to do it. So we take another piece. Let's kind of roll it up. And again, it doesn't have to be super tight. Hold it. The mesh will stick together on you. Sometimes it's like Velcro. Roll it. Boop. Put it there. 3. I'm wondering if I should just go with 3, because that's pretty substantial. I'll do 4. If I don't like it, I'll change. You could get halfway into making one of these and decide you want to change the way you're doing something. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. I'll just do 1 piece of ribbon on this one. And you could do it where every other bundle has ribbon, or every 3rd bundle, or whatever. Or no ribbon. Like I said, it's fine. So you got your bundle, you're holding it together in your hot little hand. As my mom used to say that, hold it in your hot little hand. I don't know. So you put it perpendicular, bring the ends down, flip it over. You can kind of pinch it together like that. Twist them together at least 3 times, and then you can let it go. Got your ends there, and you'll end up with a lot of little pieces too. So there's another one. They probably don't look like much now, but I think once we get them in the wreath, they're going to look really good. Okay, so another one. And you just keep going, and you're going to need, for a 14-inch wreath form, you will probably need 50 of these bundles, like I was saying. Maybe more, maybe less. It depends on the thickness of the mesh. If you're using all mesh from somewhere like Dollar Tree, it's going to be a thinner mesh, and your bundles will be a bit smaller. So you may need more bundles, or you may need more mesh. I mean, it's hard to know exactly how many bundles until you really kind of get into it, and you get to looking at it as you put them on the wreath form, and then you have to decide if it's enough, or if you want more, or whatever you think looks good. Here's that green. That's so pretty. So again, we're gonna roll it, put it on top, and you just keep on holding it. And a green one here. I have a whole pile of this mesh on the floor. I have to separate it. There. And one more. Okay. 2, 3, 4. And we'll do some of this navy blue ribbon. And how about a piece of this ribbon right here? take your half of a pipe cleaner, put it across, bend the ends down, flip it. I'm pinching it together a little bit. 1, 2, 3. You can kind of do it like that if you want to. You don't have to. There. So there's another one. I like those colors. That's really nice. Let's do one more. Boy, messy. So again, roll it. So you don't need any special tools or equipment or anything to make these. You just need your hands and some scissors, pipe cleaners, and the mesh and the ribbon. Nothing fancy or crazy. Look at that. I have a whole cluster of mesh. I just need one. Okay, roll it. Place it on top like that. Roll the third one. Put it there. And another one. There. Like that. Let's do one of these big pieces of ribbon. And this one. There. Take your pipe cleaner, you put it across perpendicularly, fold it under. Now these wider pieces of ribbon are going to get crimped, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. And then twist them together. Oops. I try to get my pipe cleaner kind of even. 1, 2, 3. Let it go. Lots and lots of bits. But I have my trash can here, so it's easy. Just put them in the can. Okay. So that's our 4th bundle. And now I'm going to show you how to attach these bundles to your wreath form. Now you see there are 4 rings in here. We're only going to be working with the inner 2. We're not going to do anything with this one or this one. Although when I go to attach the centerpiece, I may try to find a way to, like attach it to this inner ring or outer ring or something if I need it. But for the bundles, it doesn't matter. Now these wreath forms have a front side and a back side. It's hard to see it here, but the front side is convex like this. It sort of sticks out. The back side is concave, so it kind of goes in like that. We're going to be looking at the back side of the wreath form. So it's basically, we have it turned upside down right now. So you have your bundle here. And remember, we have these ends of the pipe cleaners. So we're going to face it here. So we have, this is the underside of the bundle. You're going to take these ends of the pipe cleaners. Now, if they will reach, you can straddle these 2 wires and kind of twist them together several times. And then where it pokes up, where the ends of the pipe cleaner poke up, I just kind of fold it under so it's not sticking out. So you don't have a pokey bunch of wires sticking out right there. Now I'm going to put all of these together, but I'll give you a little tip. Okay, if you're doing a wreath and you don't know how much ribbon you want to have in it, or you don't know, like you want to distribute everything kind of evenly, like say I'm making all my bundles with ribbon first, I will distribute them. You have 6 sections. It's divided off by these pieces that hold it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will just make sure, and you're going to have about 8 to 10 bundles in each section. I will just make sure as I create my bundles that I spread them out evenly across here so it distributes the ribbon or the colors or whatever. Like say I want to incorporate, I have just a little bit of blue mesh and I want to make sure it's distributed evenly. I will go ahead and use it all up in my bundles and just put them all around at once. And that way you don't end up with a bunch of it clumped up in one area. Because the tendency is to just keep going this way. But I just go all the way around and around and around as I add my bundles to the frame. But for right now, I'm going to put them together so you'll kind of see what it's going to look like when you have a bunch of bundles on here. So here's another one. Yeah, they're very bulky. Again, you're going to take the ends of the pipe cleaners, bring them together, straddle those two wires, twist the ends together, and tuck the ends under. And you can slide these around on here very easily until you get a bunch on here and then they kind of tighten up. Take your next one, put it under. Now these, let's say that we didn't have enough of this to twist together and we kind of don't. That's okay. That's okay. You could just take the ends of the pipe cleaner, wrap them around as many times as you can around that wire, and then you take this one and wrap it around as many times as you can on this wire. And that'll hold it just fine. So if your pipe cleaner's, like if you have a thick bundle and your pipe cleaner is a little too short, you just do that right there. You just twist the ends around those two wires and it'll hold it just fine. We'll do our fourth one on here. I think these we can twist together and tuck the ends under. Now, I'm going to kind of push these together so you can see it. There. Now, I'm looking at this right now, and for me, it's a little heavy on the ribbon, but we did use ribbon in every bundle. So I'm looking at it and I'm going, okay, that's more ribbon than I want. So what I will do at this point, I would continue making bundles with ribbon and spread them out, and then maybe do some bundles with no ribbon and then spread those out, and just keep looking at it and see if it's looking the way you want it to. But you see, it's not. These bundles don't stick out as far as the sunburst technique does. You could even do a combination. You could do some bundles with the roll technique and some with the sunburst and just kind of mix them together. That'd be kind of cool too. But I'm going to keep going with the roll technique, and I'm going to lighten up on the ribbon a little bit. To me, this is it's a bit too much ribbon for me. So I'm going to keep working on that, and I'm going to spread this cluster out too. I'm going to spread it out and keep making my bundles, and when we come back, I will show you how it looks before we decorate it. Okay, I have finished creating all of my bundles and I've added them all to the wreath form, the wreath frame. I ended up not using much ribbon. I really just, as I looked at it, and sometimes you will start this process and you'll kind of have a vision in your mind of what you want it to look like, but as you start to actually create it, you realize that you kind of want to change a few things, and that happens pretty much every time I make one of these wreaths. I modify a little bit. But I want to show you what it looks like before I add the decorations to it. Now, if you're used to seeing the sunburst technique, you will notice that this one is smaller. It doesn't, it doesn't stick out as far. And here's the back. You can see that, because of the pipe cleaners I use, they just kind of blend into the back. But, nobody's going to see this, but it makes me happy. And, the ribbons are here. They are here. It's just kind of subtle, because too, what I was thinking, once I add in the flowers and the thing in the middle, I don't want the ribbons to be so overpowering. I don't want so many that it's just too much. So I decided just to not really include a ton of ribbon, but there is some in here. It's throughout. You can definitely see it, but I decided to not do a whole lot. So these bundles are smaller and they're more compact than the Starburst technique. Or the Sunburst. I keep like the candy Starburst. I think it's Sunburst is the name, but whatever. Look at that. The sun is a star, so I'm technically correct. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to add in our little flowers. Gotta find a way to get that stick down in there. Let's see, I'm going to use like hot glue and just hot glue it down in there. I'm not going to put any hot glue on this because, like I say, I want you to be able to remove it if you want. We're going to get that down in there somehow. You kind of have to play with it to figure out how to get it in there. But I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back and see how it looks all finished. Okay, I've added all the decorations to the wreath. My cat is down here purring very loudly for some reason. She's really happy. I think she likes it. So here we go. I ended up not even using anything to attach this part. I found that if you just separate these bundles a little bit, you can just kind of just work your way around and just kind of wedge it in there, and it holds it just fine. And then I ended up separating the little thing of greenery, the little sprig. I left this one together, and I had a second one that I put down here. And there's the blue one right there. And there's some of the greenery there. So I just kind of split it up and put it somewhere. Oh, there's some right there. So there it is. Look at that. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm glad I didn't add a whole bunch of ribbon because I think it would have just been a little bit too much, but I think it turned out really cute. I like it. So there's how it looks from the back. And the wreath form is also dark green, so it just blends in too. So there we have it, our camping themed wreath number 2, since I did one previously. So I guess this is my second one. I don't think I've done any more that had a camping theme, just these 2. I think I like this one a little better than the first one. I don't know, something about the colors and everything. I just think it's really cute. And I like the little car with the bike and the camper and the little trees back there. I think it turned out adorable. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed getting to see this pretty wreath today. I had a great time making it. And it was really great that I got a lot of the supplies for 70% off. That was awesome too. I think everything in here was stuff that I either already had or it was on sale. I think everything in here was at least 40. I think the stuff I bought, I think it was all at least 40% off. So that was pretty good. So I was very happy about that. And thank you so much for being here. I really hope that you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again really soon.